Welcome everybody to the PodAskew Podcast. I am CJ, and with me, as always, is my hetero life mate, Rico. Hey man, listen, I know I normally ask you right now how you're doing, but we got a guest that's like waiting, and he's on a very short time frame, so we're going to grab him up, and then we'll catch up on how we're doing with each other afterwards, alright?
Can I at least just say hello for the fucking people?
No.
Okay, well, fuck you guys. Bye.
Alright, let's get our guest on. Alright, so our guest is here, and I'd like to welcome Steven, our friend on Twitter, known as Midnight Smoke, and the captain of the Golgothans hockey team from the... What's the name of the tournament, Steve? Because I don't think I know the name of the tournament.
Oh, well, the actual name of the tournament is the Walter Gretzky Street Hockey Tournament, but we are a branch of that, which is the Askew Street Hockey League, which Kevin Smith founded about 10 years ago.
Okay, and so, as I mentioned, you were the captain of the Golgothans team, and you were gracious enough to brand your cooler with one of our stickers.
Oh, definitely. This is the first year I've been captain. I've been assisting. I bring a cooler every year, and it started with my logo for the Mr. BS show on there, and then Afterburn 739 and a couple others. And then speaking with you guys through Twitter and then through the phone call and stuff, I was like, you know what? Let's throw their stuff up there. Let's advertise for them too. Why not? Everybody in this tournament is connected in some way by Kevin Smith. So you see the names, it spreads it out, and more people can meet this way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also noticed, just because I want to give some love, but the Kev Heads documentary, you had their sticker on your cooler as well, didn't you?
Oh, definitely did. Yeah, they sent a bunch, and it's been cool. Like there's a bunch of people. If you guys are on Twitter, look up Midnight Smoke 1, and you will find a picture somewhere on there of the cooler with Michael Gotham's jersey on it and all the stickers. My plan for next year is to get a bigger cool with even more stickers. That's my plan.
We'll get more to you, no worries.
Yeah. But, the tournament was nice. Kevin founded it about, like I said, 10 years ago with a partnership of Walter Gretzky. And all the team fees is actually a charity going to the Lung Association of Canada.
Okay.
So every year we get together, we do this. We play for fun. It's a fun/competitive league as of right now. Like, there's some minor injuries and people might get hurt, but it's really just a bunch of people who all have that same mentality of why not? Let's just go out, have fun, and we can all talk about Kevin and play hockey at the same time.
And for those who don't know what the Golgothan is, the random 3 not Kevin Smith fans that listen to our show, can you explain what the Golgothan is?
Yeah, definitely. If anybody has ever seen the movie Dogma or haven't, I would suggest definitely seeing Dogma. It's one of my favorite Kevin Smith movies. It's very funny. Question. It's Jay and Silent Bob running around with a, like you said, a Golgothan is a shit demon. So it comes from hell. So we are pretty much the shit. So we have a giant shit demon on the logo front of us, and then we kind of play like shit too. So it fits. Well,
and the actor who voiced it, who was?
I can't remember.
Ethan Suplee.
Ah.
Oh, did he? I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, fucking Willem, the other Willem.
Yep. Oh my God, I forgot all about that.
One of my favorite lines that you could barely understand because it's super guttural. He's like, "Not born, shit into existence."
That's a good line. I didn't know that. Look at you, Rico, pulling out the knowledge.
Someone has to.
Yeah.
I'm glad you do, because I fried most of mine.
So how did you guys do? How did the Golgothans do this year?
We did good. I'm going to tell you right now, the Golgothans are a young team. We were founded in 2016, so we're still new. So I've been with them since the beginning. When Gavin started it, he started it for like a long time ago. And if you guys know Kevin Smith's work, you probably know Gavin. He's done a lot of stuff with him. He brought me in through Dave Mader and Scott Holden, actually, who was doing the documentary at the time. It was called What a Podcast. And I met Scott Holden online. He's like, I'm going to be in Canada. It's near you, right, in Toronto? I was like, yeah, I'll be at the Falls. I'm like 20 minutes from there. So I met Scott Holden there, and that's where I met Dave Mader and his British roommate, Benny. And they invited me into the tournament because they knew I liked hockey and obviously Kevin Smith.
Right.
That's how it started, and they brought me on the brand new team. So we're just a few years old. So we're still young, but we placed 10th, which isn't bad because there's 16 teams, so I'm going to take it.
It's pretty good for toddlers. I mean, for only being a couple years old, that's pretty good.
That's what I'm thinking. So, like, we lost our first game, and it was against... I can't remember who the first game was. I was really, really stoned by the time the first game started. To be fair, I was the captain, so I had to get all the paperwork done. I had to get there at noon in Canada, so I had to drive there and everything, get the cooler, get everything set up. Didn't even have a hotel room until like 5 o'clock. So then I'm like, all right, well, I can chill. So let me smoke like these 3 joints I got from the dispensary here, because it's completely legal there, folks. It's totally okay. Got really blazed, and then I couldn't play well.
Is that your method of smoking is joints, or do you fuck with other shit?
Oh, no, everything. Here where I live, I have a medical card, so I have the little vape cartridges, which is nice because it's convenient and they don't smell like weed, so nobody really gets offended. But I have bongs, joints.
It's really get offended anyways?
Yeah, people do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Good.
you only do it at midnight, right? Isn't that the whole point of your name?
It used to be. They used to make a joke when I went to Vegas. I had my own podcast convention I started a few years ago called Why Not Con, hence the Why Not tattoo across my arm.
Right.
And that's where I met a bunch of these podcasters and stuff, and they always joke because I always either got really high at midnight or I always traveled, either flights or were always around midnight for them. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, and so to give a quick background, the way that we all connected, actually, you would think Kevin Smith, but I would have actually, and yes, there's that shared love for Kevin Smith stuff, but I would almost give the credit to Chris from the Faces and Aces pod, because that's
100%.
really, yeah, that's how we really connected, because our fans already know a lot about Chris. He's been on the show like 5 or 6 times at this point, so, but he's how I connected with you, I think, on Twitter, and then it kind of spiraled from there, so.
Yeah, and Chris is an amazing guy. Last year was my last year running Why Not Con. Like, I was like, our podcast was done, and it was hard to getting people together. And by the time everything was planned, I already had a hotel room and my flights booked. Nobody could make it. And then Chris is like, dude, I'll head out that weekend. I was planning on coming anyway or something. So he ended up just driving there like Saturday morning, and we just hung out all weekend in Vegas. It was cool. Like, he's such a great guy. He took me axe throwing and stuff. Like, he's like a really good guy.
No, he's a good dude, but getting him to go to Vegas is not hard. It's like twisting his arm. I mean, come on.
No. It's easy. You can just be like, hey, I want to fly to LA. No, dude, how about you fly to Vegas? I'll come pick you up. We'll hang out there for a couple days, then we'll drive to LA.
He actually, Rico, I don't know if you saw this, but on Twitter, he sent me a thing where he thought there was a cheap flight from Philadelphia, because I live in the Philadelphia area, to Burbank. And then he wanted you, Rico, to drive down to Burbank, and then the 3 of us drive from Burbank to Vegas and do a weekend in Vegas together.
I didn't hear about this shit. No one fucking invited me.
He kept it quiet on purpose.
He wanted you guys to have a fucking nice romantic weekend, just the 2 of you. And I wasn't even fucking notified.
It didn't come to be because he read the thing wrong, and there was no cheap flight to Burbank, so it destroyed the whole thing.
I wouldn't have. For me, I wouldn't even have driven. I would have just taken the bus, because I used to bus to Burbank all the time.
Well, but for me, there was no cheap flight to Burbank. He thought read it differently.
Well, see, now I'm thinking, fuck you. I'll just fucking Burbank. Take the bus to Burbank and hang out with fucking Chris.
Well, and fuck you. Go hang out with Chris in Burbank then. I don't know.
Fine, I will. I already have another friend in LA. I don't see that often anyway, so I'll just be like,
Joe.
Yeah, Joe. That'd be even funnier if I just go there and don't tell Joe. I'm like, hey, I was in LA. Sorry.
Right. Anyway, we're sorry, Steve. We kind of went off on our thing there, but
go for it. It's all good. You should have heard my show.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about Mr. BS show, because I know it's not around anymore. But I had heard the name. I never got a chance to check it out. I will be honest.
That's fair.
But I had heard the name like years ago, before ever knowing you or Chris or any of you guys. So,
yeah,
talk
definitely.
About it.
Mr. BS show. It was actually pretty cool. I was on a lot of Kevin Smith different projects, like a lot of education I was on. So my name was thrown around a lot on Hollywood Babylon, things like that. So a lot of people had me on their shows, just like small guest spots and things like that. Like, hey, how are you connected to Kevin and all this other stuff. And these guys brought me on after I started listening to them with their episode 2 or something. And I listened to a lot of podcasts. So I was critiquing them, giving them some pointers and stuff. And they had me on as a guest, like their 15th or 13th episode. And then like a week later or 2 weeks later, they asked if I'd guest again to fill in for somebody else who dropped. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll jump on. And we had great chemistry. I'm very improvisational. I do not take notes, write stuff down. I can't work that way. So it really messes with me to be structured. So they brought me in as the third guy, the funny idiot type of guy, you know? So I relate to that very well. And I used to be a really bad alcoholic, and I would just get trashed all the time. So meeting with Matt, he counseled me through a lot of stuff, which helped me in like some dark times and stuff. We became really good friends, and it just worked. They brought me on permanently, and we were together for about 3 years. And our show was just complete bullshit. Like, no joke. It's just the three of us just getting together every week for an hour, just trying to make each other laugh. It started as a structured thing, and then went to just us having fun. And then, unfortunately, one of the guys is like, I'm done, and just dropped us and left. And then never really communicated with us. And I was like, dude, we were friends for like 3 years. And the other guy and you were friends for like 15. And he just left.
Wow, that's crazy.
So we were like, okay, well, I want to still podcast with you. So we attempted to keep it going, and we couldn't. So we rebranded, calling it Hank Cole and the Chooch. And the Chooch means idiot in Italian. So that was me. And that lasted like 3 months, and then we were like, screw it, we were just joking, we're going back to the Mr. BS show, but it was still just the two of us. And then it just like, you know what, fuck this is dumb, let's just quit. We can't do it anymore. That chemistry isn't there after, you know.
If you lose a dynamic like that, it gets hard to keep the motivation and the groove going. I gotta say though, Rico, if we're gonna end the show, that's basically how I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna fucking ghost on you. So
dude, I don't know, man, it's not a good thing. It causes lots of issues.
I mean, if it's complete, if we're being completely honest, if CJ just left the show, there wouldn't be a show, because I don't know how to do any of the recording equipment bullshit. So it would just be me going back to Rico's rants and being like, so back to where no one gives a fuck about me talking about movies and smoking for.
Steve, you mentioned you were connected with Education, a couple of Kev's shows. I don't think I knew that. Could you elaborate on that? I'm curious.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. So I met Kevin. I didn't really get to hang out with him. I met him at a Q&A. And actually, before that, God. Before Education even started, back when they were in, like, Smodcast, so I was listening to Kevin's stuff a lot when I was overseas, you know, stuff like that. I always carried his stuff with me just to keep me, you know, mentally not crazy.
Sure.
It's soothing. So I started tweeting towards Kevin, tweeting at Scott, like a bunch of other people. And I started getting responses every now and then. Then some people would follow me. And then when he started Education, I started writing into that, because I started talking to Andy before he started, and we became friends. And it just started working where I would ask questions. They'd like the questions. They put it on the show, and we talk back and forth through the show that way. So I think I'm in 6 of the first 20 episodes of Education or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And that's where I met like Storm Raven, Big Daddy Jimmy V.
Yeah.
Like Driss, like the original. Well, no, I'm not going to say original, because we were all Kevin Smith fans. I'm not going to say we were the start of it. I'm just going to say the group that I thought as the core group that I first met on Twitter and everything. Sure. And they physically met together.
Sean Boss is part of that too, isn't he?
He sure is. Sean Boss is awesome. I'm hoping to see him this weekend. Oh, I hope so.
Is that the Afterburn thing I know you're doing? Is that what that is?
It sure is. Actually, it's funny because Kitty and Leo were in my town last night, and we hang out and had a few drinks together.
Nice.
Yeah, they came out for a band. An Ohio band came out here, and they followed the band out, and we all hung out at this brewery that works on my wine trail, too. So I went in there. I know the owners, and we just hung out, listened to music, had a few drinks. But yeah, Afterburn 739, they're a great show. We've been on their show multiple times. They've been on ours a bunch when we had the BS show. But they have their recording studios in their garage, and their garage is also a full bar. So it's nonstop. Yeah, let's just get messed up and record. So we'll be doing that this weekend, hopefully. I think we're recording Friday night. Okay. And then I think Sean Boss is coming down. I'm hoping Storm Raven can make it, because I haven't seen him in like 6 to 7 months, and I miss him. And then my podcast partner Matt's coming down, and his wife Aspen's going to be there. So it's going to be a little reunion.
I feel like we're being left out, Rico. Not unintentionally, but shit. I feel like we're missing something.
Well, I'll tell you what. Are you guys doing anything this weekend? You want to get to Ohio real quick?
It's not that far for you. No, for me it's not. But I don't think I can get there fast enough. That's the problem. So,
look, man, I've been to Ohio. Like,
it's not anything special.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with Ohio. It's just you have to really kind of go for a very specific reason. Like, I went for a wedding when I went.
Yeah.
Where I went, Columbus. I went to Columbus. Columbus was cool.
If I was going to go to Ohio, besides to go hang out with these guys, I would go check out the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because I've not been there yet, and that's something that's high on my list of things to do. So
I got a blowjob in Ohio.
Hmm?
Well,
nice, me too.
Okay, well, I can't say I've done that. But
I don't know if it was the same person.
No, it wasn't. I brought somebody with me.
I met somebody there. I fucking literally as the plane was landing, I was on OkCupid. I was single at the time.
At the terminal, you met somebody?
No, literally, landed and then made a date that night.
Oh, shit.
And it was really the boost I needed for my self-esteem, because I was I had just gotten rejected after a really promising date, which is always the worst. Where you think this goes somewhere, and then they're actually no, and you're oh fuck, my whole thing. And I was suffering from really bad anxiety, and I don't self-medicate, so I don't smoke weed or do any or drink really for my anxiety and my depression. I just sort of that's what the podcast is. I just talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But then
therapy.
Yeah, it's self-therapy.
Mm-hmm. Really
I should send him a bill. I think I should, yeah. Anyway,
do you guys mind if I smoke while we're on here?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
As long as you're still coherent.
Oh God, no, I'm always I'm good.
So yeah, then I met a fucking girl, and I very plainly I'm in town for 3 days. You're this is not going to be anything serious. If we're going to go on a date, there better be kisses at the end of it, because that's
right.
And then got a blowy in her car.
Nice.
That sounds very successful, especially to be able to hook up that quick. Dude, I'll tell you right now, I may be very outgoing and stuff online. Well, I am now, but at the time, man, I'd be the shyest person ever. Hey, how you doing, ma'am? That's how I was.
I mean, the thing, it was everyone else at the because it was a wedding. I was there for my stepfather's niece's wedding and everything, and so we had landed and we're all having a dinner out in it was Germantown in Columbus, where literally there's a whole town that is based on Germany. It's cobblestone roads and shit. A lot of bratwurst and sausage, places and shit like that. A lot of beer. And it's literally walking into Germany, from what I would imagine, with just different accents. And I'm having dinner with everybody, and I'm all right, guys, I got to go. They're where are you going? I'm I have a date. How the fuck do you have a date? You're in another state.
Especially since it was a pre-Tinder. That's a Tinder move right there, really.
This wasn't pre-Tinder. I just didn't like Tinder.
Well, no, how long ago was it?
This is a couple years ago.
All right, well, I guess it wasn't pre-Tinder, but yeah.
This is
Well, it wasn't an app or anything.
No, it was. OkCupid.
No, it was an app.
Yeah.
This was 6 months before I met Stephanie.
But OkCupid, Steve, just in case you're not familiar, is more like a full-on dating site. It's like a Match.com or an eHarmony. It's a full-on dating site. He just used it like Tinder.
Oh,
I used it like Tinder in Ohio. When I was back home, right. I was trying to find a girlfriend, and ultimately it worked out in the end. But I was just hey, I am now in Ohio for the next 30 days. Who wants to suck my dick?
So what you're telling me is that website isn't meant for actual relationships. It's meant for hookups.
No, it is meant for relationships.
It's
then why did you stop using it when you got home?
Because I felt I didn't. I used it, and then I found my girlfriend. I haven't been on it since.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I found someone who wants to not only hold my dick, but also hold my heart.
Aww.
You should quote that. That should be on a shirt. See, that's
right.
There you go.
Yeah, OkCupid, hit me up. I got your quote. You know, when
we could get Pornhub, dude, on our show.
On the next PodAskew t-shirt, the back will have that on it. The front will be the logo. The back will say that on the back.
I found someone who holds both my cock and my heart.
There you go.
She gave me a staph infection.
Anyway, you loved that joke.
Good.
So, do you know, is the show this Friday just all of you shooting the shit? Is there a method to it? Is there something behind it? Like, is it like a... Because I know people do like podcasting for charity and stuff too. Like they'll stream and record like ridiculous lengths of time to try to raise money for things. So I was wondering if there's like a thing behind it.
I think for that. Oh, actually, the last show that Afterburn did, it was with the Epic Film guys for the podcast. What was the cancer one? It was called Podcast for the Cure, I believe.
Yeah,
or Stream for the Cure. That's what it was.
I saw that. I was trying to get them to let me Skype in, but I wasn't trying to be as direct as, hey, Skype me in. So I was like,
you got you on that, unfortunately.
What's that?
You got to tell them that's the only way they'll because they're in the clouds.
Okay. Well, then I'll tell you, and you can tell them I'm free Friday night. So if you want me to Skype in, I can do that. So.
When the plan is, or hopefully, because here's how Afterburn does their show. They say they start their show at 7:39, in the evening after dinner and a couple of drinks. Sure. It never starts that early. I think once in the history of their show, it started at 7:39 or earlier. Every time after that, it's been midnight or later. So that's just a heads up.
Yeah, Rico will make that. I'll be half asleep by then, but that's all right.
But that's what I talked to Leo yesterday when he was here, and he's like, "We are planning on getting the whole crew together early. So when you guys are all here, we can just knock this out and just relax the whole week." And I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens this time.
Cool.
But it's pretty much a giant round table with their core group, and there's 6 of them, I think.
Wow, that's a big show.
5 of them as their core. It's nuts. And then they have another table set aside for their guests. And then it's usually Leo gets emails or videos in, and they have somewhat topic structured things. But when we're there, we don't know what the hell's going on. We just interrupt however we do.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll have to reach out to Leo because we've communicated enough that I think he knows who I am. So I'll have to reach out and see if he's not starting at midnight. I'll have to see if I can jump in. I know that we sent you some stickers for the cooler, but we also sent you a couple extra ones. Did you get a chance to hand any of them out at the tournament?
I did actually. To let you know, if anybody goes to Brantford, Ontario, and you go to 20 Lions Park, that's where the tournament is every single year. On the large rink, your sticker is permanently on that rink.
Woohoo!
Yep. So it's there. It's right on one of the metal poles on the visitor side goalie. That pole is there. I thought I had a picture of it, but the picture I took, I apparently delayed, so it's a picture of part of my hand and the ground. So I didn't get the photo I thought I did.
That's all right.
But I got a lot more of your stickers, which I will be handing out when I get to Ohio to meet with everybody. Awesome,
man. And we really appreciate all your help, Steve. Like you online have been a big champion along with Chris and Mike Driscoll, and you guys have been a big help. So we appreciate the championing of the show.
When you go to Ohio, can you go to try to stop by Columbus so you can put a sticker where I also left my jizz mark? I'm leaving
I'm not passing there, but where is it in Columbus?
Dude, I have no idea.
Just put it in Germantown.
Stickers everywhere around Columbus is what you're telling me.
Eventually, you'll hit my mark.
Just put it in Germantown. It'll cover it, I think.
Yes. In Deutschville.
In Deutschville.
I'll do it, man. If I'm near there, I don't think I am. But if I take another trip around if I go a long way home, I could probably hit it up.
There you go.
I'm being distracted by the fact that you sound like fucking. You sound like Randall.
Why is it everybody thinks people sound like? You said that last week to somebody, didn't you?
No, that was unless you're Slimer. Are you Slimer?
Oh, never mind. That's what it was.
Yeah.
No, I'm not Slimer. I'm Midnight Smoke.
No, but you all. No, but you still I know you're not the same guy, but you also do kind of sound like Randall.
Really? I don't know, man. I never heard that before.
I hear
you
parts
like
of it, but
in Clerks 1.
Slimer's more than him, though. I have to.
Yeah.
Slimer was. So I guess that means, and that leads into the next thing I was going to ask you. You've listened to the show, I assume, yeah?
Oh, God, yeah. I listened to every episode since I started talking to you guys.
Nice.
Really?
Oh, yeah. No joke. Like, okay. Like I said, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I have over 35 podcasts in my auto download every week. Like, 35 of them I'm subscribed to. And you guys are definitely on the top of the list.
Well, man, we appreciate that. For one, seriously, like we really appreciate that. Have you what have you liked? What have you not liked? And do you have like a favorite episode or thing that we've talked about?
Oh my God! Yeah, hold on. Actually, I made a note in my phone. Where'd I put it? Because I was thinking about it last week.
I thought you weren't the type who made notes.
Yeah.
Not for podcasts, but I'm a guest, so it's different.
Yeah, see, but it's not his show.
When I'm a guest, I come prepared. I have the Vashel page up and everything. I got the scores. I'm good. I'm ready.
There you go.
But it was funny because I think it was CJ. You were defending Pirates of the Caribbean like so hardcore on the last episode.
Yeah, well, just 5 because Rico fucking hates the 5th one, and I don't think it's as bad as he does.
Well, it's just funny, man. But you guys made a lot of points. I didn't realize a lot of the mythology behind the pirates and shit. So I actually was learning stuff listening to your show last time. And that's where I knew. I'm like, all right, I'm enjoying myself. The time is flying, and I'm actually learning something. This is going to be a show I'm going to keep, for sure.
Oh, we appreciate that. You actually put out...
We're tutors.
No, we're far from educational. We just got lucky that time. I will say... Steve, you did put out one of my favorite tweets about our show a while ago. Now, I want to say, like, no, it's not bad at all. But when it was it was around when we put out the anniversary episode, the 1 year, the PodAskew show. And you, in advance to listening to it, tweeted something to the effect of, like, 4 hours and 52 minutes? Guys, what the fuck? But, like, you weren't shitty about it. I could tell you were just, having fun. But then, like, 4 hours and 48 minutes later or so, you tweeted it again. Okay, my bad. That was really good.
No joke. Because when you see that, it's intimidating. And if you listen to as many shows as I do, don't get me wrong, I do a lot of stuff. I don't sleep that much. So I'm a hardcore gamer. I have Xbox, Steam. I play nonstop both of those. I work full time and I work a part-time job at a winery. Plus I have the house with like my people and stuff. Sure. And I try to listen to all these shows. So like when I see 4 something hours, I'm like, oh, you assholes. I'm willing to give it. No joke. This is what I said to myself. And I do say it out loud because, I'm kind of not too little. I said, fuck these guys. I will give them 1 hour slot. That's all they're getting today. And they'll get another hour tomorrow. Because I'm not going to give them 4 hours when I want to listen to like 6 shows today.
Sure.
Yeah. And I didn't listen to any other shows that day. I listened to just your show that day.
Yes.
I didn't even get here's the thing. I subscribe as a Patreon 4-star to Ralph Garman's show.
Right.
That's $20 a month. I didn't listen to his show until I finished yours.
Wow, that's a huge compliment. Seriously, thank you.
Ralph for us, dude.
Yeah, it was good, man. Like no joke. I was like, this is fucking amazing. I drove around work, fucking listening.
Yeah, dude. It was personally one of my favorite episodes we've ever done. I mean, I like a lot of our shows. Obviously, it's our show. I'm gonna like it, but like, there are ones that stick out for me more than others. Like that one, Cinema Wars. I love that Cinema Wars episode.
That was fucking good. I mean, it sounded a little biased a few times, but
You think so? I felt like I was a pretty fair judge.
No, I don't think Chris and OC should get any points. I think they're horrible. I don't think they deserved any of those points. And I'm gonna say it right here, right now. If they want to go up and debate against somebody, we'll bring the fucking heat. Tell you what, you can pick anybody you want. You know what? You know who you can pick? You can pick Mike Driscoll. Yeah, he was my producer on my show at one point, and I ragged on that little shithole a lot. And I will pick him as a teammate to go against them, and we'll still stop them.
They threw down the gauntlet on Twitter, Rico. Remember I told you we had a team that threw down the gauntlet on Twitter? It was Steve and Mike. I forgot that. Yeah. I will tell you right now, we are in the process, Steve, of setting up the questions for the second one. So it's coming. You guys,
I don't even know what we're debating about, but I'm going to crush them. I don't care.
Well, you'll get, so if we can get serious for just a split second, you'll get the first 4 questions, the first round's worth of questions in advance. I'll have them sent to you. You and Mike will select answers, send them back to us. so that we have them for just our preparation setup. And you'll know in advance your first 4. It's the quick fire one you're not going to be able to prepare for. But you only get to do the quick fire if you win the first round. So.
Oh, yeah, we got that. I'm all about improv, man. I'll make do all the, hey, answer these questions ahead of time. I'll just hit the back end.
Oh, well, no, you have to switch. That's part of the game.
Shit.
That's part of the game, yeah.
Well, how do we cheat in this game, then?
You can't.
You get to give me a blowjob in Columbus.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be there this weekend?
I don't know if I'm coming there or anywhere.
I'm not going to brag at all, but I heard I give amazing mouth hugs. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. So what I didn't get to. I asked you and then I didn't let you answer, and that's my fault. But what show have you enjoyed? Like, I know you said you enjoyed the Pirates one, but do you have one like that really stands out for you, or?
The Cinema War one was good. I think there was one before the Cinema Wars. Maybe there was one after it. You did another one with Chris on there, and that's where I caught it, I think, because that's when Chris messaged me. He's like, you should listen to these guys. They're really good.
And I said, okay. Is this Askew or something?
No, I think
so.
We did. Well, we did Faces of Askew, but we also did the Rise of Skywalker trailer, and that was right after Cinema Wars. So,
I know I heard that one, too.
Okay.
And that was cool, because I had, because I was driving at work, I couldn't write anything down, because I was like, I wanted to ask you guys about stuff like that, because I'm not a huge Star Wars freak, but I do like a lot of it.
Sure.
And one of you guys mentioned that, I can't remember if it was Rico or not, but a clone theory, as she's like the clone off his hands, right?
That was Rico. Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought something similar, and I wasn't sure, and I'm like, well... First, I know they got the lightsaber back, so obviously they found the hand because it was grasped to it when it fell. They didn't separate as far as I can remember.
Right.
But my question is, did the old lady, that little alien freaky thing, have the hand when she found the lightsaber in the basement? Or where was the hand? How is it? Yeah.
What I'm saying is, where there's if she found the lightsaber or someone gave it to her, someone had to pry off the cold, dead fingers of Luke's hand off that lightsaber. So they either chucked it or they kept it as like a souvenir. Or I mean, my biggest question for that character, Maz Kanata, the little brown Yoda chick,
she's yellow.
No, she's brown. She's brown. She's
totally yellow. Anyway, go ahead.
You are blind as fuck, dude. Tell me she's brown.
Keep talking. I'm going to smoke this bowl.
Whatever the fuck is they very clearly glossed over the fact that she had sex with Justin Trudeau.
What?
Justin Trudeau, the screenwriter and actor, is in Last Jedi, and he plays the guy that Finn and Rose are supposed to meet first, the slicer dude, and he's got like the red thing on his lapel.
Oh yeah.
So that's Justin Trudeau. I think that's his name, Justin Trudeau, and he's a screenwriter and actor. And when they're talking to Maz later, she gives off the implication like, "Oh, he's such an amazing lover" or something. Yes. Like they totally fucked. Why is no one talking about this?
I'm assuming she was on top.
I mean, I hope so.
Or he was just corkscrewing her.
Oh, geez.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, I might be really hot, but I think Justin Trudeau's the Prime Minister of Canada or something.
Okay, well, I still think...
And I was like, did he...
You know what, maybe it was Justin Trudeau, but I'm pretty positive.
I think you're right, Steve. I think you're right.
It's Justin Thoreau, maybe. Hold on.
That sounds more possible.
He's looking it up.
You know what? I'm just going to say it right here now. It was Justin Trudeau. Trudeau had sex with Maz Kanata.
The couple of Canadian fans we had, we've just lost. So thank you for that, Rico. I appreciate it.
You still have one on. I mean, he's laughing. He's fine.
He's not Canadian.
No, I'm not. I'm American, dude. I'm part Canadian. I'm there a lot.
Okay, but he lives in a drive. He lives in America, though. He doesn't live in Canada. He's not April. He's not Maddie Granger.
I keep hearing slight Canadian accent from him, so what the fuck am I supposed to think?
It's fair. Dude, no joke. I am a 15-minute drive from the border.
You have a slight Canadian accent.
I believe it. My accent's really weird, too, because I lived out west, like in Utah, for like 3 years. So that really messed with it, too. Like, I started saying soda instead of pop and shit. It was weird.
All right, I was wrong. It's Justin Thoreau.
It is Thoreau. Okay.
But you know what? That's pretty fucking close.
Yeah, except one's a prime minister
of Canada, one's an actor.
Yeah.
Y'all know who the fuck I was talking about.
So, Steve, you mentioned also taking this, not our show, but the shows you were listening to, Kevin's shows specifically overseas with you. I'm assuming that means you were in the military.
Oh, yeah, I did 8 years in the Air Force. So I was a fighter mechanic, so F-16s. I was an avionics specialist on those, so I did a lot of deployments in Iraq.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
So
kind of.
first and foremost, I want to thank you for your service, man, because that's something we take very seriously. And then my dad did 4 years in the Air Force, so I know. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Well, tell him thank you.
Well, I would, but we lost him.
Forgot. My apologies.
No worries. No worries. It definitely threw me when they had the bugle player at his funeral. I didn't know that was coming. When we set everything else up, I didn't know that was part of it. So, like, okay. So, but anyway, no, but that's awesome, man. I'm glad that helped you with that time period because a lot of people struggle. So
yeah, well, that was my big issue coming back. And there's no joke. I definitely suffer from PTSD, but like talking to people, and then again, podcasting helped. Matt found that out real quick, and that's how we met, was through that. And then medication obviously helps too. So it was nice. Yeah. Now I'm good.
Yeah, no, you sound like you're doing pretty good. So, but yeah, hey, man, listen, we just wanted to have you on. We wanted to hear about the tournament. I'm, 10th out of 16 is not too bad. So I think, for, third year, you said third year of the team at this point?
3 years for the Golgothans. Yeah, it was fun. It was a great time. It was neat. Yoga Hosers, they were the first team, or this is their first year together, and they actually ended up winning the whole tournament.
No shit.
Yeah, they were an expansion team. This is their first year playing. They won the overall. Mallrats came in second, and Mallrats have been there since the beginning. And then the Hitmen, they came in third. They're actually all from New York, too. They're all a bunch of correction officers.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they're mean. We played them last year, and they don't play soft.
Yeah. Oh, I did mean to ask you, actually. So, like, the tournament itself, is it rollerblades? I know it's outdoor. That I know. But is it rollerblades, or are you running around? How is that done?
It's actually run around. So the park has two very large rinks that have walls and stuff, and they're very nice. We didn't get to play on any of those this year, but they also have 12 other outdoor rinks just fenced off on pavement. So that's what you're playing on. All three of our games were on pavement, and not even. So. And there's fences and they're metal, so you run into those and they hurt too. Yeah. But it's fun, man. I mean, it's all about having fun and getting your little shots in when you can. And you're supposed to rag on each other. There's fun awards. There's one for the best trash talker. There's one for the best injury, like stupid one with the best hair, things like that. It's all about fun, and it's a great time.
Well, for those who have seen your picture, I'm sure you didn't win the hair one, unfortunately. But
hey, stop being an asshole.
I'm not being he shaves it on purpose, so I'm not giving him a hard time. He knows.
Right, I do. I shave it every other day. It's very smooth. Yeah, but I think I'm actually going to be a contender for the hair one next season.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. I got some plans.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's going to be pretty epic. And Driscoll will be there next year, which will be nice.
Yeah, he was saying that. Hey, Rico, we should try to go up there, see if we can do like live PodAskew from like while we're watching the games.
I'd love to.
It's cool, and it's not expensive. I mean, if you can, all you need to do is get to Canada, and once you're there, like the hotel for the 2 nights cost me $200 Canadian. So American, it was like $160.
That's not bad for 2 nights. No,
it was nice. And then everybody parties together afterwards. Like no joke, the whole hotel is covered just by the Askew Street Hockey League, and we all party together all weekend long. There's no breaks. It's fun.
We just got to figure out how we're going to get our picture on an actual jersey now, Rico. That's our next goal, I think.
What you do is get your own made and bring it to the tournament and talk to a few people. Maybe you talk to Jim or maybe talk to Gavin or something, because I know Gavin will be there next year for sure.
Cool.
So, yeah, it's going to be cool.
And Kev's been there, I'm sure, at some point, right?
Yeah, he wasn't there this year. He was there last year. He came Sunday for the All-Star game. We have All-Star games, too, which anybody can play who's in the Askew Hockey League, as long as they just want to stay to play the last day.
Gotcha.
So Kevin comes out. He does autographs, pictures, and stuff, hangs out for a couple hours. He was, like I said, he wasn't there this year, but I think they just came back from Europe, so that's why.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's cool. Anybody who wants to know anything about the league, I mean, it's just thevashel.com, so VASHL.com, or you can look them up on Facebook, same thing. It's a Askew Street Hockey League. There's a ton of us on there, and if you can't get into the group, you can just do the apply thing, and an admin will let you in, and then you can talk to all the players. It's real fun, and there's a lot of big names in there if you go through the rosters. I don't want to say who they are, but
no, that's fine. Rico, real quick, and Steve, I want to keep you on for this because I got the page pulled up and I'm looking at the team names. And Steve, you did a wonderful job here, but I need to read some of these off to Rico because I think he'll love some of this. So you've got, it looks like you got the Four Color Demons, which is obviously a Tell 'em Steve Dave reference.
Yep, they're an expansion team from just not too long ago either. I think they came in the same year we did.
That would make sense because the Four Color Demons only been around for a couple years too. You're going to have to help me a little bit here, Steve, because some of these don't look like they have names attached to them, but there's one that's a Buddy Christ. Is it just the Buddy Christ?
Oh, that one. They're brand new this year. They were the... what were their names? Bethlehem Buddies for the Buddy Christ.
Bethlehem Buddies, okay.
Yeah.
There's a Clerks team, but it looks like the Oilers logo, but it's in black and white. So it's kind of like a Clerks thing. That's cool. Then it looks like there's movies. Is it the movie Cows or is it what is it?
It's actually the Fun Employees, and they're a new team as well. They came out when at the same time we did. Two of my buddies from Lockport are actually on that team, and we destroyed them game 2.
Nice.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was like 7-2 or 3 or something like that.
Here, Rico, let me share this with you. You need to see this because this is pretty good. Let's see.
Yeah, the Clerks is the first team that Kevin was on. So Kevin's still part of the Clerks team.
Does he play at all? Do you know?
He hasn't in years, but he might have played last year because I missed it. I wasn't there. I had to take off. But I know he was there last year, so he might have brought his jersey and played a game. Do
you see it, Rico?
I've seen him.
Okay. The LA Mings I find very entertaining. That's a good one. The Salsa Sharks also make me laugh quite a bit.
They're fun. Jody Simpson, he's there. He's the one who does the jerseys for the league. He's the captain of that team, and they actually have a giant blue shark suit, and they rotate the players inside it, and they go around and mess with people the whole tournament.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. He usually wins the trash talking award too, Jody.
Yeah, I can imagine if you're doing that. I'm guessing that the Moose Jaws are a newer team as well.
Yeah, they were expansion this year as well.
They're so new, there hasn't been a movie made yet.
Right. Yeah, right. And I'm trying to see what this pink one is. The girls.
That's no one has come up with the name like the Buddy Devils or something like that.
Right, well, we got the Buddy Christ ones on there.
I know.
But we had everybody's supposed to only have like a name per movie type of thing, but then because we have so many teams now, we had to start doing smaller parts of them.
Sure.
But the pink one, the women's team, is the Vag. And
of course.
Obviously. And they're fun to play with. Let me tell you. Oh my God, we played with them the first year. Oh, best game ever.
It's fun. Badges? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Their name is the Askew Girls. So that's where you get Vag from.
Yeah.
That's where you get Vag from? Holy shit.
Yeah, you didn't know that? The Askew Girls are all about the Vag show.
Meanwhile, I went to fucking Columbus. Holy shit.
Right? You went to the wrong place, man. Here's the scores from this year. I just saw that.
Yeah. So if you look up on the top, there's the overalls for the games and stuff.
If I had to come up with a team name, I'd probably maybe call it the Pumpkin Escobars.
The Pumpkin Escobars.
Yes.
That's not a bad team, man. I want to see this thing, the podcast section. Let's see what this is. Apparently,
on their site?
Yeah. There's an actual podcast for the league, Rico.
Cool. How the fuck do we get involved with it?
Yeah, we'll figure that part out later. But anyway, Yeah, man, this looks like it was a lot of fun, Steve. And we, obviously we didn't play and you did the hard work, but thank you for including us in that small way that we could be a part of it.
Oh, definitely. And hopefully next year you guys can come up. There's also smaller tournaments we do, too. I mean, there's another one in Canada, which is closer to me. But there's another one we attempt to do in Jersey, too. And a couple years, last year? Maybe it was last year. After the tournament, we went to the Stash and got to play poker there.
Nice.
So I'm saying if you guys want to hang out with some of the hockey players, you really should whenever they go somewhere.
Well, you keep me posted on the Jersey one because I live just outside Philadelphia, so I could be I could be there pretty easily. Rico, a little bit harder. He lives out in Oakland, so it's harder for him to get there. But I can see what I can do about coming out to that one and at least represent PodAskew.
Definitely. We're planning on something this fall, I think, because I believe I'll talk to you after we're done.
Yeah, definitely. We'll connect. And you know what? I don't know if it'll work out with when he's doing it, but we had Henry, the guy who's doing that Chasing Leia movie. Have you familiar with him? Yeah, Henry was on the episode that we're putting out today, and he announced that he's coming to New York. And he's going to come down and spend a day at the Stash and Quick Stop and all that. So I'll be meeting up with him there, hopefully. So,
do you know when you're doing that?
I don't yet, but if I get dates, I'll keep you posted.
Let me know. It's only, I know it sounds stupid. It's only 9 hours for me. No joke, I can get there in like 7. I drive fucking fast. And I go out there, and then Driscoll's there too, and so is Bridget.
Yeah, I know. Driscoll asked me to meet him at the Kevin signing that we interviewed him about, and he just didn't give me enough notice. I couldn't make it work on my end. Not that it's far, but I have a lot of other things just going on in life that I had to juggle, and I couldn't make it work.
Yeah, I tried to get to, and I'm like, and he's like, well, I left earlier, and I'm glad, because you got there like 5 in the morning or something, and the line was already there. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't drive out there. I wouldn't have gotten there till like 11 or 12.
Yeah, well, fuck. We could have all just hung out and had a beer, though. So
that's true, which I would have been fine.
Yeah, so we'll have to try to do that next time. But, Steve, thanks again for jumping on with us. We'll have you back again for sure. Let us know how, via Twitter or whatever, how the thing on Friday with Afterburn goes.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get a hold of you guys. We'll be on Skype. Skype is open for them, and you can call in to their show while they're on.
Yeah, send me the information, and I'll try to do that, because I would really like to do that.
Definitely. I'll send it out to you guys when we get there. It'll be great.
Sounds great, man.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. This has been fun, guys.
Yeah.
This was awesome. Well, thanks for coming on.
It was a lot of fun. Thanks, Steve. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Later, guys.
Later. All right, man. Well, that was Steve, man. Rico, that dude's fucking funny. I've talked to him for a few minutes prior to this, like on the phone, but it was only like a 5 or 10 minute conversation. Like that dude's funny.
It's funny. You're absolutely right. And I was more surprised how he really because you and I were like, concerned maybe he was going to be too stoned.
No, I didn't say that.
You didn't say that, but that was my concern. I was like, I mean, this guy talks about it all the time, but like maybe, and then like we were like, whoa, this dude just took the show and rode with it.
And had a great time, man. And I'm looking at the hockey page a little more, and there's that part where you can buy shit. I can't get in until I register, which it looks like it's free to register, so I'll have to do it later, but I think if I can, and depending on how expensive it is, I might have to buy a Golgothans jersey. I think I'm almost obligated at this point.
Well, I can't afford it, so
no, I hear you. So it's not like going to be something I'm doing anytime soon. But anyway, that said, it was fun hearing his opinion on the show and the episodes he's like too. I knew he listened, but I didn't realize he had like fucking binged all 50 some odd episodes at this point.
Yeah, that was a big surprise. I am always surprised and very grateful but I'm still very shocked and in total bewilderment when people say, "Oh, I listened to your show and I like your show." I mean, I can understand people say, "Oh, I listened to it and fuck you." I can understand that because I'm always going to look at it from a cynical point of view. But no, it always makes me happy to hear people that like our shit and like our shit so much they just like ignore life's responsibilities and just deep dive into it.
Well, that's why I talk about Jay so much, because she just fucking loves us, man.
Yeah. And we love you, Jay.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, so real quick, Jay update, and then we'll move on with the stuff we did want to talk about. she finally had the listening party for the Podiversary episode with her friends. They actually hold on. I have to look at the number now. Because they fucking did like a binge. They did the Podiversary and whatever the next one was like right after it. They did them all the same night. So they did like.
I have it in front of me.
You have it in front of you.
All right, so the Podiversary. Then it was Askew Strikes Out.
Right. So they did both of those in the same night. So they did like 6 hours plus of PodAskew.
So they heard like, you know, because look, for our listeners, the Askew Strikeout is one where I'm not proud of myself for.
Well, we both have one of those.
Yeah, but like CJ and Stephanie especially they really, really tried, and they did a great job. And I was just not in the mood, and I was not on my A game, and I apologize for all the people who listen to that. I was just not in a good mood. You could very audibly hear it, where I'm just not really in the mood to hear anybody's shit and talk about sport movies. And I was into it from the very beginning. I was like, fuck yeah, I could, dude, I could talk about fucking anything. But for that, you guys caught me in a bad mood. I feel bad for it.
We handled it.
So I feel bad for Jay and all of her friends who have to they're like, oh man, they're talking about their anniversary and they're having fun. They're getting all these guests. Let's go on to the next episode. And then Rico's just, fuck all of you. I fucking hate this shit. Fuck sport movies. Fuck you guys. I quit. Eat my short dick. Fuck all of you. Like, it was just not a good one.
Well, and so this will maybe cheer you up about that then, but they apparently got a noise complaint from their neighbor. They were laughing so loud and so hard at various parts of the shows.
Well, sorry, your neighbors are pissed off at us. If you just told them about the show, they could listen to it as well and calm the fuck down.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was still pretty funny.
It's like a verbal joint. You're like, hey man, calm down. Here, take a puff off these guys. They're funny. Just relax.
Right. I told her. I said, you know how you deal with that? You fucking you get them to be fans of the show, and apparently they're over like 75. So she's like, I don't think they're your demographic. And I was like, well, I don't think we really have a demographic, but sure.
Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck our demographic is. I mean,
people that listen to two people talk shit. That's really what our demographic is. I don't.
Well, old people do that too. It's just called CNN.
Yeah, right.
Askew.